Before, 32% of people picked the premium plan. After, 84%, same product, same price. The only thing that changed was a single decoy option added to the pricing page. In the next 7 minutes, I'm going to break down exactly how the decoy effect works in SaaS pricing, walk through the economist's famous hourly experiment, show you how HubSpot bakes pricing psychology into every tier, and give you the actual copy frameworks and A/B test data you can use to fix your own pricing page today. Right now, your pricing page is doing one of two things. It is either quietly converting visitors into paying customers, or it is silently leaking revenue every single day. For most SaaS companies, it is the second one. And the reason is not that your product is bad. The reason is that the copy and structure of your pricing page is working against the psychology of the buyer instead of with it. The good news is that a handful of well-documented psychological principles can transform a flat pricing table into a conversion engine, and one of those principles nearly tripled revenue in a single experiment. Here is the core insight. SaaS pricing is a psychology problem, not a math problem. Software is intangible. Unlike a physical product, customers cannot hold it, weigh it, or compare it on a shelf. That means they rely almost entirely on context and comparison to assess value, and that is exactly where behavioral economics takes over. When a prospect lands on your pricing page, they are not running a spreadsheet analysis. They are asking one simple question: which of these options makes the most sense for someone like me? 3 cognitive biases dominate pricing page behavior, and every successful SaaS company uses them whether they realize it or not. Number 1, the decoy effect, where a strategically inferior third option makes your target plan look like the obvious best deal. Number 2, anchoring, where the first price a visitor sees sets their reference point for everything else on the page. Number 3, loss aversion, where the fear of missing out on features is roughly twice as motivating as the prospect of gaining them. Understanding these is not academic. The data shows they directly move revenue on your pricing page. The decoy effect, formerly known as asymmetric dominance, was popularized by behavioral economist Dan Ariely using a real-world example from The Economist magazine. He noticed something strange about the way the publication priced its digital and print subscriptions. The pricing structure looked almost like a mistake, but it was actually a deliberate psychological trap. Ariely ran the numbers and discovered that the seemingly useless middle option was generating more revenue than every other pricing strategy the magazine had ever tested. Let me show you the exact 3 options he analyzed. Here are the 3 original Economist options. Option 1, web only at $59 per year, which gave you digital access to every article. Option 2, print only at $125 per year, which gave you the physical magazine mailed to your door. Option 3, print plus web at $125 per year, which gave you both the digital access and the physical magazine. Look at option 2. Nobody in their right mind would choose the print-only bundle when the print plus web bundle costs exactly the same. That is the decoy. So why is the print-only option even there if nobody picks it? Because its presence is critical. The decoy makes the $125 bundle look like an extraordinary deal compared to the $59 web-only option. The customer's brain immediately does the math. For the same price as the useless middle tier, I can get everything. The decoy does not need to be chosen. It only needs to be seen, because seeing it reshapes the perceived value of every other option on the page. That is the entire mechanism. Now for the data that made the entire SaaS industry pay attention. When Dan Ariely removed the decoy and offered only the $59 web-only option and the $125 print plus web bundle, just 32% of respondents chose the more expensive bundle. With the decoy back in place, that number jumped to 84%. The product did not change. The price did not change. Only the context changed, and revenue nearly tripled. That single experiment is the foundation of the 3-tier pricing model used by virtually every successful SaaS company today. The core lesson from the Economist experiment is that buyers do not evaluate options in isolation. They evaluate options relative to each other. The decoy's only job is to make your target plan look like the rational, obvious, slightly clever choice. When you remove the decoy, you remove the contrast that drives the upgrade. When you add it back, you restore the contrast and the conversion rate follows. This is the principle that powers the 3-tier pricing table you have seen on every major SaaS site from HubSpot to Notion to Linear. Let's talk about the 3-tier model itself, because most SaaS companies implement it without understanding the psychology. The bottom tier is your entry point, usually priced low to remove friction and qualify the buyer. The middle tier is the decoy, deliberately priced and featured so that it looks weak compared to the top tier. The top tier is your actual target, the plan you want most customers to choose, and it is usually the one you highlight visually with a most popular badge, a darker color, or a recommended ribbon. The middle tier exists to make the top tier feel inevitable. Now let's look at how a real SaaS company deploys the decoy effect in production. HubSpot's Marketing Hub is a textbook example of feature asymmetry used as a decoy strategy. Their pricing page presents multiple plans across marketing, sales, and service hubs, And the middle tier is engineered so that any serious prospect quickly realizes they need the next tier up. HubSpot does not just rely on price. They rely on feature gaps. The middle plan is missing a few critical capabilities that the next plan includes, and those missing features are the decoy. They push the buyer upward without ever feeling like a hard sell. Feature asymmetry is HubSpot's version of the decoy effect. Instead of an obviously useless middle plan like the economist print-only option, HubSpot creates a middle plan that is useful but strategically incomplete. The middle plan has enough features to feel legitimate, but the most valuable capabilities, things like advanced reporting, custom workflows, or priority support, are locked to the next tier. So the buyer thinks, if I am already paying for the middle plan, I might as well upgrade for the features I actually need. HubSpot's pricing architecture is not a menu, it is a funnel. The second cognitive bias you need to weaponize is anchoring. The first price a visitor sees on your pricing page sets the reference point for every other price on the page. If the first plan they see is $49 per month, then $99 per month feels steep. But if the first plan they see is $19 per month, then $99 per month feels reasonable, even generous. This is why the order of your tiers matters as much as the prices themselves. Put your lowest tier first, your decoy second, and your real target last. The anchor does the heavy lifting. The third bias is loss aversion, and it is the most underused lever in SaaS pricing. Behavioral research shows that the fear of losing something is roughly twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something of equal value. On a pricing page, this means framing matters more than features. Instead of saying you will get X, Y, and Z with the premium plan, say you will miss X, Y, and Z with the basic plan. The language of loss, words like limited, not included, and unavailable, activates the same pain response that drives urgency in checkout flows. When you combine the decoy effect, anchoring, and loss aversion on a single pricing page, you get a compounding effect. The decoy frames the comparison, the anchor sets the reference price, and loss aversion drives the click. This is exactly what we see in the highest converting SaaS pricing pages in the industry. The pricing table is not just a list of products. It is a sequenced psychological experience, and every column, every badge, every line of microcopy is engineered to move the visitor from the leftmost column to the rightmost column in a specific order. So what does this actually do to revenue? When SaaS companies restructure their pricing page using these three principles, the typical lift is not 5 or 10%. It is in the range of 30 to 100% on plan value, depending on the starting point. The Economist went from 32% to 84% on bundle selection. That is a 2.5 times increase in average revenue per visitor with zero change to the product. For a SaaS company doing $1 million in monthly recurring revenue, a similar restructure can mean an extra $20,000 to $50,000 per month recurring. Here is the copy framework you can apply today. Step 1. Write your pricing page in the order of low anchor, decoy, target. Step 2. Give the decoy tier a name that sounds legitimate, but include 2 or 3 specific feature gaps that are obviously critical. Step 3. Badge the target plan as most popular or recommended. Step 4. Write the feature list using loss framing with phrases like not available on starter next to the most valuable capabilities. Step 5. Place a single line of social proof like chosen by 12,000 teams directly under the target tier's price. If you only have time to A/B test one element of your pricing page, test the decoy. Specifically, test whether your middle tier is doing the job of making your top tier look like a bargain, or whether it is doing the opposite by making your top tier look overpriced. Run a 30-day split test where version A is your current 3-tier layout, and version B removes the middle tier entirely, forcing visitors to choose between your entry plan and your target plan. If version B wins, your decoy is broken. If version A wins, your decoy is doing its job and you should test refining it further.